this beautiful day. Good morning to Web3 with Barocco, Seth, and Mando. Tuning live at 10:30, and it's all on Rock Radio. It's a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day. GM, Rock Radio.
Yo. What up? Good morning, GM. Thursday, March 9th. Oh, hell yes, March 9th, 2023. Look at that. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. I say, oh yes, March 9th, because today is the second part of You. I don't know if you guys watch You on Netflix, but they made us wait a month for the second half of the season to be able to see it. So it reminded me of that. I had a mental note for that. I got my co-host in the house, both on YouTube and on Twitter Spaces. Mando, Osef, what's up, y'all? Good morning. How are y'all doing?
Hey.
Yeah.
Ovi prepared all day just to push this hey. I was like, hey. That was a funny one. That was a cute one. I want to see some GMs in the chat on YouTube. You already know the vibes, but if you're GMing, make sure you like and subscribe, okay? I keep getting reminded to tell people to like and subscribe because that's how we do the YouTube way. Love the intro song, Jazz, by the way. That was great. Thank you, G6C6, the same person who made the legend, right, of the soundboards behind the scenes at Rug Radio. He made the jamjams.lol website for everyone to use. There's a bunch of sound bites. Whether you're Rug Radio or not, actually, a bunch of sound bites are on there. It's pretty cool. And then he made our jingle, of course. The jingle, and now he made this little beat intro. So usually we're going to play that intro 5 minutes before the show starts and then go right into the show, so I don't have to worry about trademarked copyrights and music with regards to YouTube. So it's awesome, and we're all out there. So I'm going to pin it at the top, but at the bottom right, also in the bubble, you can find the YouTube stream. And also, while you're at it, make sure you retweet and let the people know that GM Web3 is live for another banger of an episode. Speaking of banger, we got quite some topics. I mean, last night there was like nothing yet. And then by this morning, we're filled with topics. You actually love to see that. So today on the show, today, degens market report as usual, macro, NFT, crypto, Silvergate collapse. Not great. We did talk about Silvergate. I believe it was last week. Mando broke it all down for us, but some more news on that front. Credit Suisse in trouble again. I guess we'll see, and we'll find out in a second. Blur airdrop farmers baiting whole collections now. I know that's been pretty funny. I think I saw a couple of tweets of I remember you guys had 6,000 units being able to be bid on. I think Oni has 13,000 units bid on or something. It's crazy. And then the price of Blur, and let's talk about the farming for a second there. And then what are these Vitalik / Gitcoin NFTs? Of course, that took Twitter by a storm yesterday. It doesn't take much in this market to take everything by a storm because there's not that much going on. So as soon as there's a big thing, obviously it's all over the place. So we'll be talking all about that and other sides. So some news from Yuga yesterday, some big news again with regard to the second trip with a confirmed date this time. And as usual, our sponsor of the show is Fair.xyz, no-code platform that lets creators launch NFT collections completely end-to-end. And make sure that if you're trying to do that, you do so before the end of our partnership, because you have the chance to win 5 Corey Van Loo PFPs, the same platform Ovi used for the Alien Queen drop with tabs. It's the same one that we're using. They're our technical partner, actually, for the long run, even beyond that, for Stubs, which is coming very soon. It's still pinned at the top of my Twitter, so definitely check it out. And we're doing a bunch of cool stuff with them, end-to-end no-code platform for creating and launching NFTs, and if you've ever thought creating an NFT, it's literally pretty much one of the easiest ways to do so, especially with conditions to buy. And also, it was a pleasure yesterday to have Iona come on with Camilla and Perrin, and ended up minting 10 of the Mint for Change NFTs. By the way, Fair Boys and fam, when reveal, I want to see what I got, but I ended up minting 10 of them because it was, first of all, a pleasure to support you guys, and honestly really happy that you all made this happen. So big thank you for putting this together. I know the work it takes, so definitely check it out. I'm pretty sure it's still minting, and it was a great way to have a cool segment on the show. But anyways, without further ado, let's get right into it.
Daily Market Report. Brought to you by Rug Radio. Joseph, what's the word?
Hey everyone. So we're seeing a little bit of a small rally in traditional markets today. The S&P 500 is up 0.5%. The Nasdaq is up 0.9%. We did get some economic data today. It was initial jobless claims, and that actually came out higher than expected. Let me just get the exact number for you. It came in at 211,000 versus 195,000. So that data is, I guess, a little bit contradictory to the data we've seen in the past 2 or 3 weeks, and markets are rallying on it because it implies that the labor market in the US is weakening, and therefore the Fed has less pressure to keep rates high or increase them even further, and that's why interest rates are rallied and stocks are up. So tomorrow we have payrolls, which is the big one, and I don't know like how indicative initial jobless claims are of payrolls. I guess there's probably some kind of correlation there, but payroll tomorrow is the big one. We'll see what that number is, and the consensus for that is 210,000.
That comes before the show, right? It's in the morning usually, like early.
It's 8:30 Eastern time, so we'll get it before the show. Yeah. So next time I do this update, we'll get the big payrolls number, and we'll see. Like if that comes in below, I think honestly, if that comes in below, I really think the market will rally because it feels like to me there's a big short base. We know there's a big short base in treasuries. The fact that we have like this squeezy price action again today, based on just like that number, which is like a small beat, shows that positioning, I think, and I feel is short. I do think people have gotten bared up over the last few data points, and rightly so. And even I myself feel cautious on stuff, but it does feel like the price action doesn't seem to match what people are thinking and feeling. And stocks are still up a decent amount on the year. So I think I feel like my gut says there's a large short base going into tomorrow. So I think, we'll see what the number is. Like if the number is meaningfully higher than 210, we can sell off. If the number is lower, I think we could have a big rally. So I think it's going to be a big vol event either way, and we'll see what happens. Crypto, I mean, the majors are holding up okay-ish. Bitcoin is at 21.7, ETH's at 1538. So we're down about 2 or 3% there. But altcoins have really taken like another big hit in the last 24 hours. I think we're down another 10-15%. Like ApeCoin is all the way back to 4.3 now, which I think is through the lows of the year, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm
Of the year, let's see.
No, I don't. We're still high.
That's
No, I think
that's for yearly.
not through the year. Yeah.
Oh, year to date. Sorry, year to date. Here you go.
Year to date. So we're almost back to the lows. We're back to where we were in beginning of January. It looks like end of January, maybe mid-January. But that's taking a big hit. Blur is like at 58 cents. That's taking a big hit, and we'll talk about that when we talk about NFTs. I think like most like Kanto is at 31 cents. Like that's down like 60 or 70% from the highs, I think maybe. So there is it's a flight to quality thing. Like people are de-risking in a lot of altcoins that moved up 200 to 700% year to date. So they've taken profits there, moved into things like Bitcoin and ETH, which is a lot more stable. And a lot easier to hold from a longer term perspective. And I think that's just what we've seen happen, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. And then I think we get inflation, CPI next week. So we've had a couple of weeks of just like noise, and I think we get into a couple of crunch points now in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was also quiet, right? Like the price action has been doing pretty good, but there was not big data points. And you were telling us last month, like it's really mostly March. So I guess we'll see where that goes. What are there any expectations? I know sometimes like some of the news outlets, media share expectations and whatnot ahead of time. Is there any expectations ahead of tomorrow, or it's mostly like we don't know?
I think, I mean, like all the banks always put out consensus numbers into payrolls, and it looks like the median consensus is 210. So that means 210,000 jobs were added. And last month, remember, we came in at 517 versus expectations of like 200 or whatever. So that number is coming higher than expectations for at least the last 6 months, if not more. So we'll see. Like there's a number but everyone's worried that the number's going to be higher. Like I think that's the expectation right now. Like people are worried the number's going to come in higher because that's what people are now used to.
Got it. Do you want to quickly re-explain in one sentence when it means number goes higher or comes in lower? I feel like we have new people all the time on the show, so I want to make sure to get it.
Yeah, I mean, look, the payrolls number tells you how many payrolls outside of the agricultural sector were added to the US economy last month. So the expectation is 210,000. So that means they're expecting 210,000 jobs were added. The problem that we've had in the last 12 to 18 months is this problem of inflation. And one of the causes of that has been labor market stickiness and structural issues within the labor market. So I guess the theory is like if more and more jobs are added, people have more disposable income to spend, and then that causes inflation to stay high or go higher. And that's one of the issues that we've had. So people are expecting inflation to come lower as a result of a weaker economy because of the Fed's raised interest rates. And as a result, in turn, that should cause unemployment to go higher and jobs to go lower. Therefore, people have less money to spend, and therefore inflation comes lower. So when that number keeps coming in higher than expectations, it's telling you the labor market is still very strong. It's telling you people theoretically have a lot of disposable income still. And it's telling you that from at least a medium-term standpoint, inflation could be a problem. So we want higher the number is, the more likely inflation is persistent. The lower the number is, the more likely we're headed into a recession and inflation can come down. And the Fed is looking at that with regard to their interest rate policy. So the market right now is very worried that if the number comes in higher, and it means the Fed will come back and say, well, the labor market is still very sticky and we are still worried about inflation, we may need to actually increase rates even further than we telegraphed.
That's a perfect explanation. Question for you both. Nothing to do with macros. It's mostly on the crypto, because 2 comments down here on XRP, and I saw that there was some comments throughout the week. Seems like Freed Seed is saying on YouTube, good news is that the SEC is getting bashed in all rounds, especially in the XRP case. The judge ruled against their expert witness who was paid $3 million by the SEC. And then it's claiming that this would be a big win on the NFTs or securities debate. Did you guys read anything about this week? I didn't read anything about it personally, but I did see that it went up. And so I'm assuming that's why there was this spike. But I don't know if you guys saw anything about it.
Yeah, Ripple's been outperforming. Yeah, it's been rallying on the back of this. And
I mean, Ripple hasn't been good for a year, right? It's just stayed at around 40 cents.
Yeah,
I think since,
yeah, right.
Last year it was at 40 cents, and it hasn't moved from 40 cents the whole year. It's super stable. Like, the people are waiting for the end of that court case. The SEC is going to lose that court case, no doubt.
Yeah, it seems like that was another like big blow on the SEC side in this case that just happened. Sorry, I mentioned that because it's like a few times that people mention it in the chat and whatnot, and I saw the token. Yeah, it went up this week 5 points, but I was wondering what happened. So it seems like it's the SEC's expert. The SEC's expert reasonable expectations of an XRP purchaser is struck from the record. So it seems like this is what's going on there. But yeah, there you go. You're welcome, chat. I saw it a few times. So like, what's going on there? I know we don't talk about it a lot, but I was just curious because obviously I'm assuming this court case obviously impacts the general market. But anyways, let's leave the coins behind and talk about our favorite things, and that's NFTs.
Who is the man, macro daddy of the land? Can you dig it?
Yeah, GM everyone. Look, I think it's tough not to talk about NFTs without the coins right now. Like, if you think about the last 3 months, the things that have been driving NFT volumes have been the airdrops that we spoke about, and we've been speaking about since December, right? We all said that Q1 was going to be a big big quarter for volumes. That was driven by ape staking, and that was driven by Blur. And both of those narratives are kind of falling away pretty quickly with the fall in crypto in general. Now, these things change on a dime, but ape going from 6 to 4, that's a drop of 40%, and Blur going from 1 to 60 cents is a drop of 40%. So I think this could be a medium-term impact. If I felt as though there was something coming up that was going to change the trajectory of those two coins, maybe I'd feel a little bit different. But it feels to me like ape, you got a big unlock, and Blur, it feels as though you're just going to have progressive unlocks as the year goes on. And as we spoke about when Spencer came up, there is no utility of that coin right now. Like, it's just a governance token. There's no DAO, there's nothing. So you can't sit there and go like, oh, there's going to be some buy. It's very much like an X2, Y2 style coin or a Lux Rare style coin. So I feel it's a little bit precarious here. Volumes across the NFT space. Remember, before all this airdrop farming, we were kind of doing 20 million a day. At its height, we were doing over 100 during the Blur farming days. I feel as though we could probably head down towards the 20-ish level again if those sort of coins change. I mean, probably not all the way to 20 because I think Blur will always have some sort of value, but it's definitely going to be a downward trajectory, I think, in terms of volumes. I don't know if that will be in terms of prices. As we've said before, like higher volumes hasn't necessarily meant higher prices across the board so far, but there could be a game of progressive musical chairs here where as the volumes shrink and these Blur airdrop farmers suddenly realize they own, 100, 500 of a collection that they never really expected to earn, and then the volume, and then as the liquidity gets pulled, it could get a little bit messy for certain collections. So yeah, I do look at the general NFT space right now and think it's very precarious, and probably could be precarious for the next month or so. I think the blue chip stuff, Bored Apes, CryptoPunks, some of the generative art stuff will probably hold up okay, but some of the stuff which is seeing huge volumes on the back of the Blur stuff, and I would guess the second tier Yuga assets, I think they could be in for a little bit of a tough period just because ape staking is one. I mean, everyone was buying the mutants, right?
Yeah.
For the ape staking, and now that's a very different sort of question. Now, ape staking is going to go on for many, many quarters, so it'll still be around, but the initial pump on the back of that is definitely going to be diminishing from here. And unless something really changes for ApeCoin, like unless they introduce some massive utility coming up, or like it's going to be used for some more of the games, I think we could be in for a little bit of a rocky period here. So yeah, I definitely looked at this today. I only looked at it because the Blur has really been hurt, and then Ape's been very hurt, and you kind of look across the board. If you go onto like CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, you just look at the NFT coins over the last 30 days. X2Y2 is down 70%, Kanto's down 60%, Blur's down. I mean, that can't be right, but it says Blur's down 90%. But I think that's against
no, because they put it against the price that it opened. Yeah.
It says Lux Rare is down 50%, JPEG, the lending thing, is down 50%, Magic's down 40%. Like a lot of these coins that people use for yield in this space are also getting hammered. Now they had runs up, but it's definitely looking a little bit precarious, I think, in NFTs in general, I would say. In terms of specific stuff, I'm still going with this idea that I think the projects having the most fun are the projects which are going to do the best over this period. You did see obviously the Gitcoin stuff, and we'll get into it a little bit later, but the Gitcoin mint, which was
crazy,
I guess sponsored in some way, or like I would say sponsored by Vitalik, completely pumped. Like it was a 0.05 mint.
How do we miss that? Like which one of you guys didn't tell me about it? Ovi, Mando?
I didn't see it once. I didn't see it once.
Discord didn't pick up on it, or what? Burn dog.
I did see it a few times. I just didn't really. I don't know. You just don't really
make anything of it, right?
I thought at I think as our show finished yesterday, I saw people posting it, and that was at 0.25, 0.3, and I was like, "Oh, this could go," but then, it kind of petered out. But Vitalik NFT. I mean, there was that funny. I've seen a few funny memes about him being involved in Stoner Cats back in the day. If you remember, he was in
the video with Mila Kunis. I remember that.
Maybe that's his OG collection, but everything else is I kind of think that will have some value. I don't know if it's like generational wealth value, but I can imagine people liking Vitalik NFTs and there being some value in that.
Well, yeah, you know what I find, like we can go right. We're already talking about it, so we might as well talk about it now. Like it was interesting to see how it just like popped. Like shout out to this Adam Hollander guy. I sent you his tweet. He's like, I bought 47 of them at 0.05. I'm here like, motherfucker, I'm here calculating how much he made. Pull the calculator out. Like, damn, talk about a trade in the bear market. You know, it's like a 20, 30 ETH trade in a bear. And then the thing like went all the way to 0.8 yesterday. It was insane. And then ran all the way down to 0.2. People start getting pissed off. And this morning is back at 0.55, which has been quite a roller coaster of a ride. Trying to stay out of any trades because with the blur farming going on, everything at the same time, you love a collection that has high volume. And I don't want to be caught in between like a bunch of whales playing the game on top of all these traders with bots and crazy sweep. Like I was looking at blur yesterday, guys, while this was happening. I was texting you at the same time. I was like, guys, what the fuck is happening? Like, check this out. And I was updating you on the price every like 10 minutes, like 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8. But what was crazy, and I had the blur screen open, it was like a casino. It was like, you had the floor depth shining and the things getting picked up. It was crazy. It was like almost like every second was like hundreds of sales nonstop. And that shit was going crazy. And there was obviously big spaces around it all day long. And it was pretty impressive. But look, like, of course, like we get it. Like it's not the Vitalik NFT, but it's obviously something that he partook in and that he has endorsed and backed. And he's a part of this. And it's funny enough.
Drama yesterday about it.
I don't
think a lot of drama. Like Thread Guys has to defend himself. Like
but that's Thread Guy's just going through growth pains that he's gonna have to go through as
he was just because he was on the space talking about it.
Yeah, and the kid literally like he made a crazy trade because he got it at like 0.2-ish, and it's at 0.7, and he stuck with it, and he went all in. So funny. He bought a few of them, and I was like, I was telling him in the back, I was like, dude, like you're up a bit, like you should be selling. He's like, but I don't want to get this, and that. The kid didn't even sell them. And people were like coming at the guy, you know, it's like, it's so dumb. But you know,
being a Spaces host and active trading is
you know, people are just that's just, it's not even worth giving any of these people air because it's so stupid. Look, last night, what matters, and I guess that's what people didn't like, the haters didn't like, is that one of them sold for 52 ETH. So basically what happened is that there are 12 editions of it that are signed, and they come with the signed physical copy of the book, and it's signed, you know, by Vitalik himself, which is pretty cool if you talk about like collectibles in the industry. So right now, look, floor price is back at like 0.43. That's OpenSea, but there's probably a little bit. But what I find interesting is these 12 right there. Let me sort by price. There you go. Why does it do this? Even if I try to sort low to high on OpenSea, it keeps breaking for me since yesterday. Anyways, typical broken sea things. But see, here is this one. Sold for 52 ETH yesterday. The person paid 3 ETH to mint it, right? I think, right? It looks like a 3 ETH mint, right? Here. Yeah. And 3 days ago, and sold it 14 hours ago for 52 ETH. Talk about a trade. It's number 12 out of 12. Yeah, it's edition 12 out of 12. And it's this NFT, and it comes with an actual signature of everyone on it. And like, I know a lot of people want to say, yeah, Vitalik's not involved at all in this, but I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be signing the book associated to the collection if he had zero involvement. But look, Gitcoin is something much bigger. Gitcoin is one of the biggest organizations in this entire space. What's funny, talk about timing, boys. Tomorrow is the day we're supposed to have Kevin Iwaki on the show. And I booked that guest like almost 2 months ago. That's how hard it is to get Kevin Iwaki. And Kevin Iwaki is the founder of Gitcoin. He's right there. His name is on here. You see Kevin Iwaki. I followed to double check we're all fine, but that's tomorrow that we're supposed to have the man himself on here, and he's quite a genius. Like, talk about, I guess that would be one of our biggest. Oh, it is confirmed. It's perfect. Okay, I double checked yesterday. I was scared, but tomorrow's the day we have literally like. It's one of our biggest guests, I think. Aside from I know we had Hayden, and I know we had some big guests, but I can't wait. So maybe we can go more in depth with him tomorrow. Kevin here, who is behind Gitcoin and whatnot, and his name is literally on this NFT as well over here. But I don't know what you guys think of it. I picked one. What?
What was the NFT?
So this is so basically it's a book, and it's a cover. Like it's and it's about the quadratic funding, that they all wrote together. So basically, Vitalik is like a co-author on this, from my understanding. If someone in the audience, like if you're in the chat on YouTube or in Spaces and you know more, you're definitely welcome to request to speak and come on stage and explain more in depth. But this is the understanding. This is what it's about, and this is why it went up. And look at 0.05. God damn, that was a good buy.
Yeah, 0.05, it was no brainer. At these prices, I'm not really so sure.
I mean, at this price, you don't buy it to flip it. You buy it to just hold it. Like I bought it at it's back at the price I personally paid for, like 0.4, and I'm happy about it. Like I love the fact that I can go to my collection and I'm gonna send it to the vault, and I love the fact that I just have one of these, and I picked the black one because I like the background. And there's Vitalik's name on there, and that's it. Like you buy it for stuff like that, right? It's like, I want the physical copy and I want the NFT, and that's it. Not trying to catch a trade or like sell this.
So this is a cover of a book that was co-authored by Vitalik. Am I understanding that rightly?
Let me show you here. Let me find the tweet that we can share.
Looks like he hand signed some of the physical copies.
Exactly.
So if you get it, only 12 of them though.
Yeah, there you go.
So I personally think it's a massive stretch to like associate this with Vitalik.
So this was something. It was actually a rate. It was for charity. So here you see like there's 12 signature editions that sold out. There was 9. It was an OE. They did 390 sales, so therefore they raised $781,000 for public goods. And this is what it was. So it was a raise like this. Here it is. I'm sharing it right there. And it says contents include a digital edition of Liberal Radicalism, the seminal paper by Vitalik Buterin, Zoe Hitzig, and Glenn E. Weil. They introduced quadratic funding plus digital editions of 2 new works by Gitcoin co-founders Kevin Iwaki and Scott Moore. This is exactly word for word what this is per the Gitcoin website.
How different is this to the comparison that I was drawing earlier? Like, let's say you create an NFT project and you use X copies Wagme bottle and some X copies CCO stuff, and then you say, hey, this is an X copy NFT. Like, how similar is it to that?
Because in that case, you used X copy as a CC0, and X copy is not a creator of it. This is something that Vitalik, you could argue, is a creator. I mean, it literally says, I'm on the official website. If you're on Spaces, we're live on YouTube too. Pinned at the top. Come check us out. It's more fun on YouTube. But like literally, like you see him right there. You know what I mean? On the main, like this is where people minted. So that's why I think it's different from that. I think, I think to say it's Vitalik backed, it's all Vitalik is not the statement, but I think it's fair to say that he's a co-creator of this and clearly like was okay with Gitcoin. I mean, we know Vitalik's a big fan of Gitcoin. Gitcoin does a lot of, public goods for Ethereum and for the space in general. Really invite everybody to look into Gitcoin. Tomorrow's show is literally all about Gitcoin. I cannot wait because we have Kevin coming on. We could ask this to Kevin tomorrow, actually, because we have him on the show tomorrow morning. So
yeah, let's grill him.
You know what? 6529 made, and it's funny. 6529 could tweet the same thing as us, and we'll never get an ounce of anybody and all these rando, Karen screaming and by the way, you're screaming into nothing because you're all muted. And he will never catch an ounce of this. But he tweeted something really funny yesterday. Where is it? Did he? No, it's there. Okay, hold on. He just retweeted a lot of stuff in between. He said, I love this tweet by 6529. Just bought and he actually tagged him. He said, just bought the Vitalik Buterin Gitcoin NFT so that I can, for the first time in the history of NFTs, properly ask, can the devs do something? I thought that was the best tweet.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and now, yeah, exactly. Culture Layer on YouTube says Vitalik can add artists to his resume. You can rug Ethereum now, and you can rug Ethereum now, and just say I'm an art. It was just for the art. Oh my god, please don't. But yeah, so anyways, we'll talk more on the Gitcoin Presents, but it's pretty cool. I thought, look, like on the nerdy side, I think it's fun to have one. You shouldn't be buying it like to flip it or trade it. If you did and if you won yesterday, GG. Like I love seeing some people do that, but this is definitely not something you want to trade in, and it's not a market you want to be trading in either. With all the blur stuff going on at the moment, you could be caught in a pickle or in between two whales, as a matter of fact. So, anyways. So back to our topics. Silvergate making the headlines again, right? I mean, Mando, I don't know if you want to give again like the quick TLDR what went down there, because I know you already went in depth last week, so I don't think you need to go too deep today. But there was some more news yesterday. What's up there?
Yeah, it's kind of like we already said, right? Like banks, when they say that they can't file reports, they tend to go down pretty quickly, because everyone tries to take their money out. I was surprised it took this long. It was a week ago. I thought it would happen by Monday that they would have to file, but they filed voluntary liquidation. This will now go into a process, like a bankruptcy process. I don't know if this, like, how exactly this is going to work. Like, if they have no money left to pay back deposits, that's not normally how this happens.
Mm-hmm.
With a bank, normally they've lent out some money, and maybe some of that is bad, but it could just be a process for people to get back their money, basically. It didn't say how many assets I think it was under management. Often when a bank files, they say how many assets they have, but it didn't seem to say that. So I think we'll wait to see how big a fallout this is going to be. But not a surprise. The stock did drop another 40% after, but this is a penny stock at this stage.
Yeah, of course.
Like you tend to find with distressed companies when they have huge moves in percentage terms of their stock, but like it's a very small market cap of that stock. So
it's 100 million now. But you said what was the market cap at some point? Like
it was trading at over 200, right? So Silvergate stock will now be at zero. But
yeah, I'm sharing it right now. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think this caused that big an impact in the end. I think the initial headline about it probably did, but I think the reason why it's winding down is because they had 8 billion of deposits, I think, by the 31st of January. And I think more than likely they probably lost over 50% of that over the last couple of months.
Ouch.
They dropped 6 million over the course of 1 month, 6 billion, sorry, over the course of 1 month. So you got to imagine that the majority of funds were just leaving, and it just made sense just to file. So I think that's what they've probably done. So I think the fallout from this is a lot less than expected, but it may have been, it may have contributed to, like, I don't know, crypto not going up over the last 3 months.
Honestly, crypto's been taking a lot of hits, and it's not affecting it that bad. You're giving me, like, after all the Silvergate stuff, even you're giving me Ether at how much right now? 15.38, 33. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, even Bitcoin is holding on, right?
Yeah.
Even Bitcoin is holding on. Alts have been smashed.
But yeah,
Solana's back at 18. Ape, like we just said, and that's kind of across the board. So
compared to their lows, right, of the year, like Solana got smashed like massively, and then got hit by the SBF.
Yeah.
10, like still like 100% from.
It's still up. It's still up a decent amount. I guess this is the thing about altcoins. If you buy them at the wrong time,
you can get wrecked.
You can get so destroyed. And like something that feels, oh, it's down 30%, this is the time to get in, that can drop like another 50%. So it's definitely something you learn from one cycle, is that there is no mean reversion with crypto, right? Like if something goes, it can go forever. Like things can go to zero, whereas I think with other stocks, like if a blue chip stock falls, there's a lot of like, oh, I'll buy it back, and that's the same in the bond market. Like people are always looking for mean reversion trades in other markets. With crypto, or particularly with altcoins, I wouldn't. If something's dropped 20-30% and you think, oh, it'll bounce back, it can also just drop another 50% and no one gives a shit. So it's one of those ones where it's very, very difficult to trade if you have traditional market skills.
Yeah, I'm picking up this tweet from Malcolm that I saw on 6529's feed saying, Truly the end of an era. Sad to see our friends at Silvergate Bank winding down. For nearly a decade, they've been amazing partners to crypto companies and were willing to bank the industry when no one else would. What a ride. As someone who's a founder in the space and, is trying to go through banks to be able to bank a DAO and stuff, it's very, 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 very hard, guys, to be able to be banked in this space because crypto, because NFTs and stuff, pretty much get rejected by 99% of the banks. And that's a fact. So this sucks, I guess, because it seems like there was the bank, actually housing the crypto company. It says she followed up with a tweet. This was 18 hours ago. Well, it's not the ending I'd imagined and or hoped for. I deeply appreciate Alan, Ben, and the Silvergate team for doing what none were willing to do at great risk and building a business that would become the backbone of the crypto ecosystem. So
It is strange that. So what I have seen over the last 18 months is that payment processors have massively increased the ability for you to use them. So like it's very easy to create cards now, like backed by Visa or MasterCard, which have crypto support. And you can get crypto cards, which you can have massive limits on. I think the Ledger card, there's a card you can get through Ledger, which has got huge limits on. But the actual banks themselves have kind of gone backwards slightly. It's still very, very difficult. In places like the UK, it looks like it could get a little bit better. Like there seems to be more friendly crypto regulation coming through. But in the US, I don't know. It feels as though progressively it's probably gotten more difficult to link anything to a bank account, just because there's so much uncertainty around stablecoins. In Europe, I think it's kind of mixed depending on which jurisdiction you're in. But yeah, there's definitely been more progress on payment processors and credit card companies and those sort of links than there has been on the bank front. It feels like over the last 12 months.
Yeah. Is there other banks or entities as big and important as Silvergate that are also in the same risk following? Because I'm assuming this was a fallout after the whole FTX SBF. Like this is what do you call it?
They probably had some bad debt. Yeah, I think they had some bad debt on the back of FTX. But there are some banks. I forget the names of them, which people have said, they might rise up and take some market share here. That's generally what will happen, but it'll just take some time, I think. It's just going to be interesting to see. It might be more difficult for people. I think, for example, what's the exchange that Justin Sun runs, Huobi? That move to like paying people in stable coins, and you might see that a lot more. So you might see a lot of like big crypto institutions paying their employees in stable coins and then letting them deal on the banking side. It's when you want to try and move 100 million that there seems to be issues. And basically Silvergate was helping facilitate that sort of stuff. If you want to link your Coinbase account to your Chase account, that might not be that tough. So I think a lot of the bigger institutions are putting the onus back on the employees to help basically deal with the idea of transferring back to fiat.
Okay. I guess we'll see what's next. It's a matter of that's what I meant, David. Collateral damage. It was part of the contagion, but I was asking, that was the word I was looking for. So I'm assuming this is what's going down. Still on the bank topic. Still on the topic of banks here. Something Mando pointed out this morning in the topics. Credit Suisse shares drop after SEC query delays annual report. What is it going on here, and how does that affect us, Mando? Oh, no, I think you muted yourself by mistake.
Credit Suisse is that Swiss bank that has this very, very well-known Swiss banker, classic private bank, dodgy, private bank network. One of the biggest in the world.
Dodgy.
It also has an investment bank, which has been just going terribly for many, many years. And there's been a lot of FUD around it, essentially, at various different points. It looks increasingly like the investment bank is going to have to be shut down. Anyway, the stock keeps on dropping. If anyone knows credit markets, the credit default swaps are now trading at around 370 on Credit Suisse. I think Ovi would agree that's not necessarily a level that would insinuate it's going to imminently default, but it's still a bank that's under some duress. It's still, I think, what would that roughly be? Over like 5% chance of defaulting, something close to
Well,
that.
it's probably 100 strike, right? So
100 strike, yeah. So maybe higher, maybe like 10, but still not high. But yeah, there's just some FUD around it right now, and the SEC basically questioned their cash flow statement and they had to delay their earnings, which is bad news on top of bad news. It doesn't look like this is anything significant. Credit Suisse basically came out and said this is something small on their cash flow statement, but let's see what happens.
Yeah, 100%. All right, well, looks like we need the banks to do a little better, boys. All right, so
Credit Suisse have got some shit legacy risk there. So
what is it?
It's just an inside joke.
Is that an insider like bank?
It's a me and Ovi inside joke. Right?
Is that an inside bank joke?
That was very much an inside bank joke. Yeah.
Can you let the rest of crypto and NFT Twitter on the insider bank joke?
We just know some historical traders who used to trade at Credit Suisse, and let's just say there's some shit in the closet at Credit Suisse.
Shit in the closet.
There's some more than skeletons. Let's put it that way.
I was gonna say, I thought the phrase was skeletons in the closet, but it's that bad. It's just shit in the closet.
It's that bad. Yeah, it's Credit Suisse always had this rep. Even like I'm not in that space at all, but it's always like, oh, Credit Suisse. It's like, it's got this like.
Well, the two big Swiss banks are UBS and Credit Suisse, and they are the history of Swiss banks, right? Secrecy, some dodgy money going in and out before all these Panama stuff happened. That was the place where you went if you had a lot of money and you wanted to keep it secret. It seems to have yeah, it seems to have changed. They've cleaned their act up slightly, but that's still a very big business for them.
Yeah. If you're on Spaces, the lobes are out. I mean, definitely make your way into YouTube. The headphones are off. The lobes are out. Mando does have ears. We're getting
age restriction on this now. Like,
should we make it plus 18? I mean, how do I change the YouTube stream to being plus 18? And the big shout out to the fam on there.
Throw them out.
You're so funny. Wait, how do you hear? You can use the thing without the headphones?
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, Golden.
So there's a very disapproving look by Frogs. Interesting. We'll be having words about that later.
I'm just using the mic right now because I was having so much issues with
Are you using the mic?
Well, the Rodecaster wasn't working correctly.
Are you sure you're using the mic?
The mic is the thing I'm using. I'm using the old system that you guys attacked until I can fix it.
Now it makes sense.
Well, what else am I meant to do? You guys attacked me for the other way, and I have to wait for the right XLR cable.
So someone's saying your lobes are looking good, and they've definitely been moisturized. It's funny. It's funny because the Rug Radio Twitter account this morning made fun of Ovi talking out of the soup can, but I think they made the mistake. Whoever did that, I think it's Line Trash. Whoever did that. Yeah, I love that. Testing my new microphone on the Gem Web 3 show today. It's a soup can. Whoever did that, you should have tested with Mando instead. I think that would have been more on brand here. But
it proves that people just think I'm OSF throughout this whole show.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna twist should have been wrecked, Mando. There you go. But
how many people must think that like I'm you, like for all the talking and then when we have the guests and like. If the bulk of the show.
People have no idea, genuinely. Like, people have no idea.
Clearly, the NFT 100, the NFT Not 100 last year cemented the fact that you are one person. I mean, I will never forget walking into the event and having you guys as one human being. I thought that was one of the funniest moments of last year. Not gonna lie. But anyways, moving on. Blur airdrop farmers. Yes, absolutely. Hold on.
It's fire.
But Blur airdrop farmers. Blur. Oh my God. Is Mando's favorite song "Stay" by Lisa Loeb? Dude, Hefner and the YouTube squad is starting. Like, we've doubled already within a week, but the YouTube fam is starting to to really like I like that group we got. Like they're positive, they're funny, and they're interacting with us on the show at all times. If you're on Twitter, like that's the place to be if you ask me. But anyways, Blur airdrop farmers, what is going on over there exactly? Can you guys dumb it down for me and explain to me what's happening on that front? How is it possible that a whole collection can be bid up? And like what's happening? I see also Cyrus NFT tweet about this a lot. Like what's happening?
Paradoxical. It's paradoxical because at the same time as Blur tanking, the actual degen activity that's happening on Blur has gotten even bigger. So if you remember back like 2 weeks ago, they were bidding 60% of all the rec guys in existence. Now they're bidding like 150% of all the collections in existence. So I think at one stage yesterday they were bidding like 15,000 of these Vitalik NFTs, and there's only 10,000 of them outstanding.
Wait, how is that possible? Like, how means there's more, but
exactly, like there's no limit on the number of bids, so they are just bidding. They're bidding even more than the collection size. And then you've also seen a lot of inverted markets. Punk 9059 has been following this pretty well, but you're seeing inverted markets across a number of different collections. So if you see the top bid, actually no, that's
here.
It was inverted.
Here, look, 20,000 units. There's a size right now on the Gitcoin Presents NFT. I'm sharing it on the screen. Size is 20,711 NFTs, so 8,000 ETH of bids. But there's only 9,000 units. So can you mathematically make it make sense for me, someone who doesn't understand farming or doesn't partake in it?
There's just no limit in it. This just proves like farming gone nuts, right? It's just that people are like, well, I might. It's gotten so degen that people are willing to accept the whole collection size getting hit at them. I guess this is bots. So like, if they got hit on 1,000, they might change their bid.
Okay,
and that's maybe how it works. But yeah, people are willing to bid whole collection sizes in order to get the Blur airdrop. What? At the same time as Blur being down.
It doesn't help, right? Like it feels like Blur going down so much doesn't help the case for people that are farming, right? Like I saw, like you're saying, 9059 has been talking about it. He's been testing the farming himself and the points. But wait, where was it? There was
it's also, you get a lot of inverted markets at the moment. So like, it's so bad that people don't even give a shit about half of these collections, and they're just inverting markets in them. So an inverted market means the price that people are willing to buy is lower. It's higher than the price that people are willing to sell, but there's still not a trade happening because people actively don't want them to trade. People would rather just get the Blur points.
Okay.
Just more dystopian, like not dystopian, but more, I don't know, red flashing warning signs that this isn't good.
Okay.
I don't know what you think, Odie, but yeah, this just.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's wild, isn't it?
Like Blur is probably going to go single digits, okay, in terms of like the token, right? So what happens then?
Well, I don't know if it goes to single digits, but I think.
I mean, yeah, you want it to go single digits, but I'm not trying to be like look, like we traded Blur, we did good, but like I just don't like. What is the token for? It's just another one, right? So unless they come up with some crazy stuff, which I wouldn't put it past them, because so far they've been winning this like marketplace war and they're crushing it. Like even right now, you see an interesting trend by Punk 959. See, for the first time ever, Blur is now doing more ETH volume than OpenSea on NFT trades, where the buyers hold NFTs and don't flip them. So Blur is doing good as a marketplace, but just what happens if it does, though, Ovi? What happens if when, or even forget single digits, low doubles?
Yeah, I mean, it could. Like right now, what is the fully diluted market cap? It's there are 3 billion tokens, and it's 0.5. So it's like 1.5 billion fully diluted. It's still quite high. So look, it could go lower, absolutely. But it just depends on like how they release the token and whether they are smart enough to add some kind of utility to the token. Fighting myself bags. By the way, I sold all my airdrop. Like all my airdrop is sold. So I'm not still holding Blur. I actually sold it too early. But
we actually haven't been able to claim our fucking treasuries blurs because of the freaking what's it called? We missed the top because we can't claim if we have Gnosis safes, which we're supposed to have Gnosis safes as projects.
Yeah.
But look, hey, Frozen Grapes asked a good question. I kind of want to ask you, what is the point of farming if the token has no value and Machi and Franklin have majority of the supply? That's not me asking this from Frozen Grapes in the comments. What happens then?
But it's not zero value, right? Like people are looking at Blur being down from the highs, which is like what 60%, 70%. But Blur right now is basically where it was, maybe a little bit lower on the first day of the airdrop, which was tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of free money. So these guys are going to still get money. And the question isn't like, will the airdrop be worth anything or not? Because I think it's still going to be worth something, maybe not as high as it was a week ago. I think the question more is like, how much money are you willing to lose for that airdrop? And the traders who are good traders, if you're making money trading on Blur, which some people probably are from bidding and being able to flip at the right time, then, getting the airdrop and then you get this Blur airdrop, then it's great. Like you actually get money, you make money from it. But if you're losing a shitload of money and you're waiting for Blur to like make up for it, then you're in a tough spot. And I think looking at like the behavior and how, I don't know, just how like almost negligent some of it is, I think a lot of people are losing money.
God, and a lot of people I think tried to farm because they saw the first round farmers like season 1.
Yeah, and they just had no idea what they're doing, basically.
Yeah, I think and that's what Spencer was saying early on. Like you see this new crop, he called them new crop of farmers came in and they're trying to play a game that Machi and Franklin and these guys know how to play better than them, right? Like these guys are like, these guys have been around, right? They know what the fuck is going on and how to
remember, like Machi and Franklin, these guys aren't just sitting there. People are just like, they watch them lose money on Blur. These guys are not, that's not the only thing they're doing. They're not just sitting there on Blur losing money, right? Like they're doing things like borrowing against their apes and then staking ape coin and like making something in between. It's like, it's a very like, the entire portfolio is not just what's going on Blur. And if Franklin's probably looking at it like, cool, if I can make money doing other things and I can like have a go at trying to make money trading Blur, and even if I don't make money, I know I'm going to get an airdrop. Overall, he's probably going to make a good amount of money. It's a lot of fucking work and effort, and I personally wouldn't go through it. But you shouldn't just take things at face value because there's a lot more going on than I think people are realizing or accounting for.
I think this is the most dangerous bit of the Blur cycle, if I'm honest. Like as the Blur token drops, the game of musical chairs starts to happen, right? And people progressively get caught up and get hurt up more. And the whales will probably be all right. Like Machi gets hit on 500 or something.
Shit.
He doesn't really mind. But like the people that are just in there for the Blur farming and you just get hit on like 50 of a collection. And it is shrinking. There is no doubt. You can see it in the data. This is a shrinking game. So just be very, very aware if you're playing it in any sort of size that as this game shrinks even more, it's going to the only people that will probably win will be people like Machi and Franklin who can deal with the outcomes of being hit on large size and are probably playing a much bigger airdrop than you ever were. So just be very aware, I think.
Yeah. I guess we'll see what happens on that front, on the Blur farming. So I'm getting tagged on all these, like, someone's asking about this. If there's I know you sent in the chat the gutter cat tweet from Jonah, and then someone just asked me if we talked about the gutter cat lawsuit. What the fuck is going on over there?
The lawsuit there? What happened there?
I don't know if it's I said link me in the chat, but I don't know. I don't know,
I mean, Jonah put out a tweet being like, for Gutter Cat Gang, we might as well just pin it.
Which one is it? I'm trying to find it.
The one I put in the chat.
The one you put in the chat. So what is Jonah up to again? Let's see what yeah. See, but back to the Blur thing. See, Alex says in the chat, Blur is doing what it needs to do to take market share from OS. But what happens when the airdrop meta fades away and they have market share with users that have gotten accustomed to no fees and airdrops? I guess we'll see. A lot of people are questioning what the model is going to be beyond what's happening now. But look, like, I think so far, like, whether we like him or not, whether people have thoughts on Blur or not, you know, it seems like Pac-Man's been doing pretty good, you know, at coming into the space and taking market share. So as you know, just grinding. So we'll see where it takes people next, right? I think it's just dangerous game to play if you're trying to farm and stuff in between whales. I would definitely not advise anybody to try and do anything like that. If you're like a new market participant and you're trying to find your way in, definitely not the way to go. While we find out all the gutter cat stuff and go to it, Ovi, something I've been wanting to talk about for the last couple of days, and we did not mention here, but I do want to talk about this. What is going on with you and the Rect Cities? You have a second drop. This is exciting. Yeah, I have all this. And by the way, definitely selfishly asking because I have every city. But what's going on? You have a drop?
Yeah. So Rect Cities 2. There's 5 new cities. They're all quite low edition sizes. So they're all between Miami, Toronto, and Bangkok are all editions of 100. And you can obtain those by burning any 2 of Rect Cities 1 for 1 of those, basically. And then there's Dubai, which is an edition of 50. And that will be the top 50 bids that will win that. And then there's Munich, which is an edition of 10. And the top 10 bids will win that. We also took a snapshot of full set holders. So if you held a full set, we took a snapshot, and you'll have an opportunity to claim one of the cities for free if you were part of that snapshot as well.
It's a claim.
I believe it's maybe an airdrop. Actually, I think it's gonna be an airdrop. I'll try and make it an airdrop so you guys have to claim for your vaults.
Mando and I were flooding in the chat.
But yeah, I didn't actually announce that before, so that's a bit of a surprise. But we didn't want to announce it before and then people try and get a full set and then get the airdrop. It was more just like we wanted to reward people who just had the full set because they like Rect Cities. So we actually took the snapshot. I think very early yesterday or day before yesterday. So the snapshot's already been taken, and you'll get the information on how to I think you'll just get a city airdrop basically.
Full set, baby, right there. Woo!
There you go. And this one's a bit different. So the cities actually have 3 different states this time. So if the change in the price of ETH is within 5% up or down, then it's just this normal version. If it's below 5%, then it says it's like the red Rect version. Or if it's higher than 5%, then it's like this green bullish version, basically. So there's like 3 different states of all these NFTs. They're all dynamic.
This is cool. Oh, the Miami one is fun colors.
So it's the drops at 6:30. It opens at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time today. Oh, by the way, the burn thing is a raffle, so you have to like commit 2 of your NFTs to try and burn, and then the raffle picks whoever wins it. And if you win, then it automatically burns and you get the new one. If you lose, then you get the 2 cities returned to your wallet.
Okay, sick. Sick.
The idea is like I did burns and stuff, so I didn't want to have like a new drop with loads of supply and like charge loads of money for it. So yeah, so it's like deflationary, and then hopefully Rect Cities 1 they go higher as well, because like a lot of that supply gets killed and burnt really. So that's why I had like the small edition sizes with burns, and then hopefully gets that supply down a bit and is beneficial, even if you don't participate in it. A lot of supply of Rect Cities 1 will get burnt.
Okay, sick. So it opens today. And the editions are significantly lower than the last ones, because the last ones are all editions of like 200 to 300.
Yeah.
And then, but question for you: why Toronto and not Montreal?
When I did it, I genuinely thought about that. I was like, oh man, Fred's gonna be pissed. But I think for Montreal, the reason why I did Toronto, I've been to both places. I want to go back to Montreal because I think Montreal's something like really cool. Like,
I'll take you to where I think where the city. I need to take you up to Mount Royal because we have a nice view.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah.
That's really
But they have like Montreal's like loads of cool bars and stuff. What's that road in Montreal where all the like
Catherine or Saint Laurent? Saint Catherine.
Saint Laurent, yeah.
That's pretty up the street for me.
Yeah. So I want to like go back there again and like get some good inspiration and do that. So I thought I'd wait for that one.
Okay, so TLDR, it's on the tweet. Let me pin it. Sorry, I'm gonna pin it to the because I know I shared it here, but Ovi already put a tweet out about this. I definitely like. I'm sorry. I want to talk about it yesterday. We didn't. I want to talk about it the day before. We couldn't. And then this morning I woke up and I started a tweet about it being today, and I was like, no. We got to talk about this for sure today. So if someone doesn't have anything from you and wants to participate, can they still do it, or is it not?
Yeah, I mean, you can if you want to. Number one, if you want to bid for Dubai or Munich, which are very low edition sizes, you can bid. And if you want to try and get Miami, Toronto, or Bangkok, you can buy two of the existing rec cities to burn them, or you can wait to buy it in secondary as well.
That's what I'm gonna do. Too lazy to move my NFTs from the vault back to Nifty Gateway. There's no chance.
You have to have your stuff in Nifty Gateway. You have to burn. You have to have it in your Nifty Gateway wallets.
I'll wait. I'll let the flippers flip, and then I'll wait a couple of weeks, and I'll buy them when people are zigging, and I'll be zagging. You know, just
someone
like
asked how many full set holders there were. There are about 105, I think. So
wow.
That will actually, quite a lot. So it'll actually reduce the supply that will be available to be burnt. By the way,
that is incredible. Wow, that's pretty cool. It's 100 individual people. That
was higher than we thought. We thought when I was Matt at Nifty Gateway, like, maybe it'll be like 30 or 40, and then we ran the numbers, it was like more than 100. So I was like, wow.
I think that's pretty cool, right? And so full set holders means you need to have Tokyo, London, Hong Kong, New York, and Paris.
Yeah,
right.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, cool. They're all red right now. All the cities are red.
All red right now. Yeah.
It's so funny to watch. I was like, because I just pulled it up on the screen. I'm like, wait, it wasn't like that before. Yeah, it's all red because the market's red.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be nice because like you'll have a green one in the new one. So because I always felt like it was red and like, oh, it's really shit, and then it just goes back to normal. And you're like, but
dude,
when it's green, you'll be like, yeah. Because like I don't know about you guys, but I always get these like notifications on my phone every time crypto moves like more than 5%.
Yeah, the Coinbase notifications.
Yeah, so when you get like a green one, you're like, yeah.
I love that. I was talking to Tony Salin. I was hanging out with him in Paris, and he was saying that it's his favorite piece of yours ever is this one, the London one.
Yeah.
I was from there, but it is a really, I always love, because I love that area of London, like walking down there.
Regent
So
Street.
there's a sweet little steakhouse, actually, Mando, that your wife recommended us. I think we ate there together.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah.
Nice little steakhouse. What is it? Gaucho? Something like that?
Gaucho, and we went to go to, what was it? What's the name of it? Hawksmoor. We went to go to Hawksmoor, but then Hawksmoor wasn't open.
Yeah. And that's also the street where like this like crazy like
they're on the same street.
This the street where this crazy crackhead tried to throw punches at me, Danny, and Vanessa, and we ran away. So this piece definitely has a lot of memories for me. Having great steak with Mando and his wife to getting assaulted almost by a crackhead in the street. London things, right? So anyways, so this is all on there. It's on Nifty Gateway if you want to check it out, if you want to partake. It's for SF's new drop. Super cool. I love that you didn't chill it at all. Like I had to like call you out on it, and I made a mental note today
it's not a shell thing. It's like it's for existing.
It's cool. Yeah,
it's just going to be for people. Like I feel like the rec cities things that I do, I really enjoy them the most personally, but it's also the thing that I like least talk about or push. Obviously, I'm always talking about rec guy and stuff, but for me, doing this for me is like a kind of like a bit of a passion project for me, and so like I just don't want to like I don't want people to come in and be like, oh, like I want to like buy it and make 3x and like all that kind of stuff. I just want like if you just like it, then go ahead and buy it, and that's why I think like by not pumping or shilling it, I just kind of get the people who actually have if you've been to Bangkok and you like resonate with that piece, or if you like live in Dubai, like you get where that is, that's kind of like what I'm going for with it.
No, I like that. And it's like you're taking us along the ride in the travel. So I'm assuming you just recently did that one.
That was basically, I was staying right by there. That's like basically right outside the Burj Khalifa, the fountains outside it. And that was like, I walked around Dubai quite a lot, and that it's weird. Like, it's not like I like doing things that aren't like I could have just done one of the Burj Khalifa or like
Yeah.
the Burj Al Arab or something like that. But I just like to do like a bit of like a side, like just some random street or like a random thing, random place, you know.
I have a question for you. How come Munich ended up being the lowest edition of them all? Is
Just
there
my
a
favorite.
thing?
It's my favorite one. I just made like my favorite one. Yeah, I did it. Well, I shouldn't say it like this.
We had
I
a
did
wild night in Munich.
Yeah,
but
we got wrecked yesterday, but that was a fucking annoying match to watch. PSG in Munich yesterday. It's no matter what, we just can't get through there. It's like you can have all the superstar players and you're not building a proper team. Anyways, that's another conversation. But it was really frustrating.
Me and OSF back in the day had a when was
we had
that?
a big night out in Munich. Yeah.
Was it during Oktoberfest?
No, it wasn't Oktoberfest, but it was in the summer actually.
You
Yeah.
two
July-
would have a big night out in Munich.
July 2016, I think.
Yeah,
But
that was.
yeah, that's probably the most drunk I've ever seen.
man.
Mando, I'd say.
I love the pink. I'm a big fan of this piece. It's fun. Bretzlin, beer, Drogen, and Wasa. Oh man, I love that. It's really cool. Someone's saying in the chat, thank you, Ovi. Your art just gave me an idea for using my photos with my digital pen. Wish I could get one of yours. They're so sick. Love it. You'll be able to get them after. It's just they go on this different smart contract on OpenSea. You just have to be able to find them and snipe them to be able to. But wait,
They're called Rex Cities 2 on OpenSea, so you can. They're pretty clear.
wait, you're telling me that if I move all of my cities back to, because maybe I may actually do it, so I don't avoid doing the secondary price. But if you're telling me if I move all of mine to my Nifty wallet, I can enter the drawings, right?
Yeah, but you have to like commit 2 of them to burn, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So I think if you only have the full, exactly. If you like really wanted to like go for it, then you buy them. And there's a price difference as well. Like New York and Paris, are the 2 larger editions. So my guess is those are the ones that will end up getting burnt. And if the whole thing is burnt, I guess it will be what? It's 2 for 1, 300. Yeah, so like less, maybe something like 400 editions get burnt or 500 editions get burnt. So it's quite a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we'll see what happens there. I'm excited for it. I saw Jam.
I know what Mando's laughing at.
What?
Look the comments.
You're coming for me today, like.
Wait, what's up with Mando? What did Mando do this time?
The comments. Someone's like, "Oh, thank you, OSF," and someone's like, "And Farouk, like I love your spaces," and they're just like, no reference to Mando.
Hey, you know what, chat? On YouTube, and on Twitter too. Show some love to Rando, okay? Everybody,
I didn't see that. I was laughing at the Rug Radio account coming for me again.
everybody, show some love to Mando, okay? He's having a weird day today.
He's having a tough day today.
He not to be a dick, but he's speaking of art auctions and whatnot. I want to bring this to attention. Like, there's this Sotheby's sale happening right now, and just some really like I know we talked about it a little bit last week 2 weeks ago because of Chris and Tyler. But the curation on this one is pretty gangster. Like, I was looking at it earlier. They have a Tyler Hobbs Fidenza, which is currently being bid at $70K USD. But it ends March 15th, so there's a lot of time left. Who picked that? It's all good, Mando. You the man. There you go. And actually, this is true. Ovi and Fred. Fuck you, Jose. But we love Mando. There you go.
It's fire.
There you go. There's the love. But anyways, back to the Sotheby's auction ends in March 15th, because that's also something else happening on the art spectrum. And I see Michael down in the audience. He's a regular listener, a photographer I love. I love his work. He did this photo of Montreal not long ago, which is sick. But his piece is there. So you have the QQL, you have, which currently is at 20K. You have a Tyler House at 70. You have a Pindar. You have one of those Skullgans. We love you from Norway. Hell yeah. We have one of those Skullgans over there that's currently being bid at 20K. Terrell has a piece of 12K now with 16 bids, and you have a bunch of other ones. OXDGB, his art is super sick. Searlight has a piece there. Pop Wonder, I'm a big fan of Pop, but this piece of Pop, so the animation here is Sick.
Oh yeah, I've seen this piece. This piece is really sick.
Yeah, it's not loading right. Oh, there. Oh no, I left it. Look how cool this is. The water. Look at how like the fish just becomes. See, water's fine, and then you have a contrast between like outside of the water, inside the water. So that's really like I was impressed. You know, with the level of like the art that they created on this round. You have this one. All of them. Look, that's Sidovsky, Michael Sidovsky. If I'm not mistaken, this is actually in Montreal.
Wow.
This photo.
I love that face. I love that.
Hold on, let me zoom out. It's tough, but it's a gorgeous piece. I'm pretty sure it's in Montreal. Correct me if I'm wrong, Michael. I know you're listening. I see you down there, but I'm pretty sure this piece was taken. This photo was taken in here. So those are the pieces, and it's pretty cool. It's cool to see like the creation going on there. Definitely a lot of stuff happening still in the art world. Again, like this week I feel like has really just been driven by just the art side of the space, and you absolutely love to see it. By the way, rock.fm/rewards. Yes. I know everybody wants their code to claim the Rug token daily. By the way, we do this to our listeners, for our holders every day, Rug Radio Genesis NFT holders, the PFP holders, and the membership pass holders. rock.fm/rewards. We almost have 2,000 people that are on there, and you should definitely check it out because there's a bunch of bounties out there every day for interacting with different parts of our socials, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, email list. Oops, I'm on the wrong website. YouTube, Instagram, email list, Twitter, and everything else that we are doing. And the code today is, can you guys guess? Let's see if you guys can guess. But maybe you know because you saw the chat. Maybe you don't. What do you think?
Let me think. Vitalik, maybe?
That's how, Golden, we really suck at this. We really suck at this. You do Vitalik, claim secret code, and boom, here you go. You can claim your Rug token that quick. We have 1,875 members on there now, so it's pretty cool. If you ask me about building reward programs for the space, almost 2,000 people. So shout out to this week's tops. It's Crypto Stat and Moon Safari, of course. Zev, Rocinante, that's the top 5. I see you, Tiny. Oh, Freed Seed, I see him a lot in the YouTube chat. Always, he's always out here collaborating. Commenting and having fun with us and going back and forth on the chat. I love to see that. Hefner's up there. This is super fun. It's like fully gamified. And you can go on there. You have all these bounties that we have live, guys. It's actually really sick. It's like different things. Really cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like for liking and commenting on different threads, for following the GM Web3 show on Apple, on Spotify, for reviewing it. And you see all the amount of people that claimed it already. So we have all these codes available at all times for people to be able to, earn Rug in different ways. So it's been fully set. That's why I'm going a little longer on it today, because it's on video and I want people to see it. But there's a lot of different bounties and tabs. It's not just for the morning show, and then it's going to scale out to all of the shows as well on the network. So it's super, it's great. I'm having a blast with it. Shout out to Artemisia building this out, and who also wrote an incredible thread yesterday on Women's Day that I'm going to retweet again, but it was really cool. Last topic today, and quickly, Yuga Labs, right? Second trip. We saw the announcement come in. From the Yuga side regarding the second trip, the infamous second trip over here. Boom. Other side Meta tweeted yesterday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Voyagers, get ready to return to Other Side for second trip on March 25th, 2023. Exact time to be announced. Here's what to expect. Second trip will bring Voyagers into Other Side for an interactive gaming experience led by our first ever Other Side team captains. Okay. Details on team captains will be shared later at a later date. Other deed holders will also have an opportunity to invite a guest into the second trip. Other deed holders will have priority access. Guest passes are not guaranteed entry. So clearly they're adding this like utility to like strictly people who have other deeds here. So that was important to note. And then they said, we're also expanding the playable region list from first trip, allowing more Voyagers from around the globe to participate in the event. Everybody is invited to watch along our official streams. And then obviously, as usual, more news will be there and all the security reminders on stuff. What do you guys think of this? Garga was very excited about second trip when I interviewed him in Paris. It was honestly, most of the topic we covered was about the gaming and the second trip. But it's pretty exciting things, right? Did Other Side move on the back of that? Because that's some just pure Other Side. Like the deeds now have that I guess you can call it utility in a sense. It
It's
did
been
move a bit.
all right compared to everything else.
I mean,
Like
400K units, it's definitely moving up all right.
coders have been on a big move, right? I don't think I
Hey,
saw
look,
anything.
wow, it's almost back at 2 ETH, man, though.
Yeah.
On Blur here. So that's real floor price. Top bid, of course, higher than the floor price. Love to see it. Classic current NFT meta, but you're almost close to 2 ETH here. And the Coda are at 15 ETH on Blur here. I know it went recently to 18, if I'm not mistaken, but it's been pretty stable in the 15 ETH region, and a lot more people are starting to pick some up, right? Because people forget that Coda is a 10K collection of the other side, right? And that's like, and we don't know much more about it with regards to utility, what they're going to be, what they're going to do, but yeah. Do you guys still have some of your deeds that you originally minted?
Yeah, we have all the coders. We kept the coders.
I think that's a smart move that you guys
Yeah.
held the quotas versus like the rest of the assets, because that's the one that clearly could have more upside than
Something, right?
like
Yeah.
a board 8, right? Because especially in the farming space right now, it's I guess it's pretty tough to like have floors move up drastically. But yeah, dude, second trip. Do you guys think they're gonna blow expectations out of the water? Because so far so good, man. First trip, like people seem to be very happy about it. I didn't really partake, but I read a lot of reviews, and I know we covered it on the show, and people were talking about it. They were very bullish. Second trip, Garga was extremely confident talking about it in France. I know they talk about it with a lot of confidence, and it seems like they're doing really well on that front. Really exciting to see what they're building.
I think it has the best. I still think this is the best shot of there being like a popular, good blockchain game kind of thing. Like they just have. You just saw with like Dookie Dash, etc., like how much attention it got and how viral it was. And if they get this right, I think it could be big. And ApeCoin is like one of the biggest coins out there, so it could be. I still think it's very interesting.
Could be an interesting dip.
Yeah.
On that, I don't have any. I still have the ones I bought to originally play the game, and I never. So I ended up buying ApeCoin, like some, like not a lot, to play Dookie Dash and use the power ups. I ended up using 2 power ups and keeping the ApeCoin, and the ApeCoin went up. So I was like, okay. So I didn't use it for power ups. I only used 2. So I thought that was cool. Yeah, I'm excited for test 2. I might try and see if I can partake in this one. What date is it again? Hold on, I forgot already. March 25th. Where are we going to be March 25th? Wasn't there an event going on? There's nothing. Perfect. I'll be at home. Amazing. I can't wait. It was during NFTLA. I guess it's yeah, it is during NFTLA. I guess a lot of people will be in LA at the time. I'm not going to. Are you going over Indiana, or are you guys going to LA at all? All right. It's a lot.
No.
It's too much. For you guys, even further. At least 6 hours for me, and I'm on the continent.
Yeah,
so
it's like 11 hours for us, I think.
Fuck that. Dude, California is really far from everything. Jesus. But I'm reading the blog release. It says when second trip will take place on Saturday, March 25th, 2023. Voyagers will be able to experience 15 minutes prior to the start of the second trip. So you're going to enter 15 minutes prior. Yeah, definitely be careful out there with the fake accounts and whatnot. Pay attention to the golden badge piece. They're saying first trip obelisk piece, as communicated on Twitter by the community team. Voyagers who attend the second trip will be eligible to earn the first trip obelisk piece. Obelisk. Dude, why is the English language getting more complicated as I grew up? Like I didn't get it.
Strange word that, but yeah.
It's a French word, not obelisk, because it's the same word in French. But so this second trip makes you eligible for something. So all other deeds held in the connecting wallet will receive this metadata update. Oh, yo, I'm for sure partaking in this shit. If you receive the first trip obelisk piece on your other already, there will be no change in the metadata. We will continue to support Voyagers in their journey by allowing Voyagers to obtain the first trip obelisk piece for future activations beyond the second trip. Okay, so this is it. Like, this is the trip where you get a metadata update. Okay, so make sure you guys do it. And it seems like you don't need to, like, let's say you have a bunch of other deeds. You don't need to participate from multiple. It's like one participation for the wallet that holds all the deeds, and then they all get the obelisk on there. Okay, sick. Tech specs requirements, it says Google Chrome, 45 megabytes per internet connections, Mbps internet connection, Windows requirements, and it's all on there. So just go check it out. I'm not going to read it, but news.yuga.com, it's on there. You have the Mac OS requirements and everything. The supported regions. Let's see if you guys can actually do it. Okay, a full list of supported regions will be provided later in the future blog update. So we don't have the supported regions yet. And there will be, oh, nice. So Warm XYZ integration is available too. So Warm XYZ delegation will be supported for the second trip. All other deeds held in the cold storage wallet delegated to the hot wallet connecting to the experience will be eligible for second trip. I'm assuming that at this time, all you guys that play Dookie Dash use the Warm wallet. And to do so, I have to delegate cash my stuff also from Ovi because he doesn't want to do RLD airdrops anymore. And I have to Warm wallet my RLD.
Hey, look at the supply now. The supply is low. It's like 150.
I don't collect your shit to flip for supply. I collect your shit because I love your art.
I know,
So
but it's more valuable for you if it's low supply.
all right, I guess pump my bags. But you know what? Like maybe the day you get really big, you know, I'll have 10, 20 years. Like I'll have a nice return on all this art that I'm collecting for me. I'm gonna collect all the cities for sure. So I'm gonna add like a bunch more editions, and I need to go collect this professional degen piece that you did. Question: is that a piece in honor of you guys selling your apes to Machi?
It's I don't know. It just. I was like, what should I do?
Before we end the show, because he shared it. He said straight. I saw him tweet it yesterday. Look at this. He straight out of Taiwan. Professional Degen 3. I hate how you can't make GIFs bigger on Twitter.
On Twitter, yeah, I know, it's annoying.
Where can I expand this piece? It's out, right? I can find.
Go to rect.media, and then
it's a nice piece, by the way. I like that.
And then you can make it bigger.
Is that a rect.media? What is it called?
And then go to
is it on OpenSea?
Or go to OpenSea, yeah. I can get you the exact link if you like.
Professional Degen 3A. Boom. I found it. There you go. There's the piece. So was that a piece you made in honor of selling the to Machi?
Well, I was like, what should I do? What should I do for this piece? And I was like, well, what's the big stuff that's happened recently? And yeah, one of the things is like this whole blur farming thing. And it's a remake. It's actually like a remake of Professional Degen 3, which is the one where it's like a teal color. The guys in front of the screen, and that has like ApeCoin and all that stuff in it. But it'd be kind of funny just to use like the blur color palette and change it and have instead of having like the US and the UK flag, have like the Taiwan flag there, and instead of having like the tennis racket on the right, I've got like this bucket of like where all the like blurs coming out of the computer, and then I just wrote Machi on the back of the chair. So yes, this is I guess this is like it's a depiction of Machi farming. There's meant to be a hoe there as well, but it looks like a scythe.
What?
So Machi Big Brother has been immortalized in OSF art before we did. That's great. It's like Mando, how do you feel about that?
I just think it was a very diplomatic answer there from OSF. Like,
yeah, honestly, OSF is such a wimp. The more I realize, he sends you to take care of dirty business. I just found that out this week. I mean,
how do you not know that for years?
Is that what he's done for years? I saw it in action this week for the first time, but I did not know it was a thing that's been going on forever between you guys.
Might have for years.
He's such a wimp. I swear to God.
I'm not a wimp. I'm just not. I just don't like conflict.
Now, Mando, what is Can you break apart the diplomatic answer of OSF and break it down for us? Then
it's some sort of hit piece that he's done here, and then you
ask him. Piece.
Like, oh yeah, it was like I was just thinking about what was relevant at the time. Mate, to say what it is. It's a funny piece where you're taking the piss. Well, kind of half.
I'm not taking the piss.
Here we go. This is the diplomatic side.
It's a cool piece. He looks cool in it.
He does look cool.
Oh,
it was just funny to hear you talk about it. Like, make sure you don't piss anyone else.
I think the real story is that OSF got scared of Machi, and he's planning a lot of trips out there in Southeast Asia and that region, and he's just scared of what could happen to him. But I don't think he's harmful. So I think you're fine. I think that's the real story behind this.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do the NFT fight night? Me versus Machi.
Dude, honestly, I tweeted that out at some point. I was like, that would be really funny because aren't you guys both like 5 feet tall?
I mean, five.
OSF
5
actually
6, but
he says he's taller than that. How tall are you, Farouk?
Like 5'7" or 7-ish, 5'7", 8.
Do you think
Okay.
OSF 5'6"?
I think OSF's 5. I mean, OSF is just 1 inch shorter than me, right? Not that.
yeah.
Is that the case?
1
I
inch.
just didn't even know.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably got a bigger
My
dick.
height is one that's shorter than me as well.
Hey, it's the end of the show. Okay, half the audience is probably gone by now, which is not the case. Probably like just 10%. So scratch that. Speaking of OSF's size and height,
Yeah, we should do it. We should generally we should have an NFT fight night. I think it'd be such a cool event.
But who would you put like against one another? You could go. Yes, Breeze said 5'7" is tall in Web3. I think it is too. Honestly, I feel at home in Web3. I don't feel out of place. Aside from when I hang out with Mando or like Harry on our team, I was like 6'5". But
Harry's tall. I'm just like,
Harry.
I think I'm regular height, right? I think 5'11".
Mando versus Harry. That could be a good one.
Well, I think OSF and Matchy could be a really cool lineup.
OSF matches a good fight.
That would be fun because it would be entertaining. Like because they both bring like the heat and the
How tall
entertainment.
is Luke Annette?
Luke is very
tall.
tall.
Luke is
Yeah.
tall.
Yeah.
Luke is tall. He's like 6'3".
6'3". So
Yeah, he's tall. He's like
who's Luke Annette fighting?
There's not many
Harry.
tall guys. Like that. Not many tall people. There's not.
I can't think of anyone else.
Yeah. Someone's asking for
Master Young's pretty tall.
Yeah.
apparently
Maybe
size.
Toby versus Ovi.
Toby.
There's
The battle of Ovi versus
mean
Ovi.
Sobi.
no, they're too cute. Sobi's too cute. You can't put Sobi to fight on anyone. He's like, he's like a little munchkin. Anyways, all right. We're getting out of here. And with that, someone said, shoe sizes. Shoe size determines the length of the lobes. So anyways, for the people who are on YouTube, don't leave the YouTube channel without subscribing to Rug Radio, because all the shows are streamed there. Rect Radio yesterday, I saw with Ice Bags was there, and it's on video. I didn't realize Ice Bags actually came on video with you guys because I was looking through it today. I had an interview at the same time, but I'm gonna go watch it back. So if you want to see an interview of Ice Bags on video with the boys, that was the first time Rect Radio actually came to YouTube because we swapped everything over there, so you can just check it out. I'm just gonna quickly share my screen one last time before we go off here. Just look up Rug Radio on YouTube. It's actually really clean, right? And from this weekend on, Jazz is making channels for every single show. So Gen Web 3, Gem Web 3, and Rect Radio are gonna have their own channels. And then if you go back here, that was last night. It was a trip. Like Sobi was fully like in the metaverse. Loxy came up. Udi came on video last night too. By the way, that was a fun show. And then there was the Ice Bath show, right? This is cool, right? Everything, it looks nice. So and you guys were on there. So again, pay attention to this because there was some really cool content created there. The great interview of Ice Bath, especially post to John Jones, right? And the Kampai Pandas have been doing really good. He must have been hyped up.
Yeah.
He's had a wild few months.
Yeah.
That was the sense we got from him. Like,
yeah,
he's like a funny person. Like, not very PC, but yeah, just great.
Yeah, it's definitely Rect Radio is not meant to be PC. I feel though, it's like where you go for the real shit. Like people will come and like,
When we had Gainsey on, I think that was thrown out.
Yeah, I mean we're not so PC ourselves either, but we're not either like that level of on PC. I mean, does Keyboard Monkey host from his bedroom? Like, what's the deal here? Is he
I feel like he has a different bedroom every single time.
I mean, look, like the background here, like is he like,
Yeah, so he has literally been in a different location every single time we've done the show. So I don't know what he's doing.
He's always somewhere different. I'm trying to see. I mean, I think you and Keyboard Monkey need some art, and then you're set in the background. But Icebox seems to have a nice little painting going on behind him. Ovi's got a screen, and
I mean, I guess Ovi's is better than ours. Yeah, look at that room.
Oh yeah, that skateboard there is like fully. You should put the skateboard all the way on the other side, so we actually can. You should move the skateboard to your right hand. Yeah,
it's a cool skateboard. It's actually co-owned by me and Mando, so we'll have to split it.
Oh, just break it in half.
Yeah,
easy. Break it in half, and you guys each
have.
How
tall is Golden?
Golden's tall.
Yeah,
but it's funny because it's like Web3 standard tall. You know what I mean? Because he's He's just
I
like
think Golden's taller than me, right?
Golden. How tall are you?
Oh, no.
Hold on, my bad. He didn't know I was bringing him up. It's a
No.
surprise. Gordon, oh, my bad. Sorry, I fucked it up. You can speak on Spaces, Golden. I think you're 6 something.
Yeah, I think Golden versus Luca Nets. Let's make that happen.
Yeah, we need to make Golden and Luca Nets happen, I guess. I'm just kidding. Luca's too nice, bro. When you see him in real life, he's like, he wouldn't fight a fucking fly, bro. He's such a nice guy. Yeah.
Maybe you versus Frank. That's what we should have.
But I don't want to fight. I want to like comment it. I want to be the, let's go, ready to rumble. I want to be that guy,
I actually have to bounce, guys.
Yeah, me too. Hold on. We're just hanging out at this stage. All right, y'all. Well,
Magic Eden call.
wait, hold on. Don't leave yet because we have to end the broadcast and save the video first. So with that, we'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Big show. We have the co-founder of Gitcoin himself, Kevin Owaki, coming in 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for another episode of Rug Radio, GM Web3 on Rug Radio. Let's go.
It's a beautiful day to have a beautiful day. GM on this beautiful day. Good morning to Web3 with Barocco, Sep, and Mando. Tuning live at 10:30, and it's all on Rug Radio. It's a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day. GM. Rug Radio.
And broadcast.